Good afternoon, World Wide Web. We have another stock update on XELA Technologies Inc. And a 498 a share last month, down from 650 to $4 and then up to 468 or 498. I'm sorry, all over the place for the month. Um, we know this company was low on money, and we knew the stock price was low, and we knew that they needed more money. They're selling off divisions of their company now, which is going to greatly help. It's going to incredibly help their cash position. It's going to help them live longer into the future. And it's going to get some of the shit off of their books that's causing them to lose money. They have these failing divisions, probably 50 of them. And each one of them is pretty much a business unto itself. The revenue is going to come down. That's their quarterly revenue. It's barely coming down yet. Their yearly revenue has been coming down for the last 3 years. And some of that might have to do with getting rid of some of these other companies, or maybe losing a few clients. Who knows? The quarterly revenues actually look like they've been rising, which is nice. Their loss position got better in March than compared to December. That's nice. They're raising money by selling these divisions, which is a wonderful thing. I just wanted to let everybody know about a possible warning signal. Their debt is high compared to their assets. Obviously, they're greatly upside down to the tune of $700 million, and liabilities, I'm sorry, 1.5 billion in liabilities and half that in assets. So they get bank pressure, and the bank pressure is to pay something back. We don't like this upside down position you're having right now. You guys only have $9 million cash, $10 million cash. Uh, if you want to keep this going, you're going to have to do something. And here's what that something is. And you can check it with Mullen Automotive if you want to see the strategy in play. But here's the strategy. You do a reverse stock split. You bring the stock price from 5 cents up to $5 or $6 or $8 or wherever it got to. How high did this thing get? I don't even know. It wasn't even that long ago. Maybe $6. I don't know what the high was right there. Somewhere around there. You do the reverse stock split, and then you do a dilution on a Monday, and you don't tell anybody about it till Thursday, and you sell into it the entire time, causing it to crash. Like this big down motion you're seeing here could very well be XELA executives selling off the newly acquired and newly diluted shares that they haven't told us about yet. They're going to tell us about it after they've diluted it and sold it off. They're not going to tell us about it after they diluted it and before they sold it off, because then they won't get as much for it. And apparently they're allowed to do this. And after they're done doing it, they're allowed to do another reverse stock split, and then maybe even another dilution after that. But since this company does need money, they have no chance on getting credit. They have to turn a profit now. They are making big sales in the sense of liquidating some of these divisions, and that can make a very big difference and provide a lot longer runway to begin with. But I think a dilution, a sell-off, and then paying off this debt with the money is going to be a very, very high possibility. They could dilute this thing by 700 million shares and get a sell them for whatever they can get for them. I get half that many. They could probably do it at $2 and a fourth as many at $5. I don't know what the right sweet spot is, because it's going to fall as they're selling. Probably already has been. Somebody's been dumping into this quite heavily. and it might be XELA themselves, and they'll tell us about it soon, and they'll go, hey, congratulations, we just turned this company into not many shares, and now guess what, we have a ton of shares again. Thank you, stockholder, for helping us finance this thing and keep it going. Now, it's kind of a shitty plan. It sounds awful. It's been happening, though. Check out Mullen Automotive. They just did it at 25 to 1, and then they're doing it again at 100 to 1 just 2 months later. It's a reverse stock split followed by a secret dilution, a sell-off, and then telling everyone about it. They're down to 6 million shares outstanding of XELA. They could multiply that. They could add 500 million shares onto it right now and dilute it by that many and probably throw $1 billion in their pocket. Or who knows? I don't know. If they get a buck each for them by the time the sell-off of them is over, I don't know what they can get. They're going to run the numbers and find out what they can get. But I'm seriously prepared for a dilution and a sell into that dilution, and you to find out afterwards that this thing's worth 15 or 20 cents again. I think they're going to need money, and I think they haven't solved this problem yet. They haven't sold off everything yet that they need to sell off. They haven't charged their vendors more money yet to balance this thing out. Let's see what the latest income line looks like. Whoops. Sorry, guys. Just a little worried about it. I like the company. I think it's a solid company. I think they have solid customers. This has been getting better. The loss has been getting better, but their 45 million lost for the quarter probably is as real as daylight, and they only have $9 million. And I think they just got a quarter's worth of money from a sale, maybe a half a quarter's worth of money. But they're inevitably going to need more money. They can't go back to the bank for it. They're going to have to take it out of you, and this is how they're going to do it. A reverse split followed by a dilution sell-off, and then tell you about it. And I just want to tell everybody about this first, so you guys are thoughtful of it, and you're knowledgeable about it, and you understand what they're doing here. Very likely. Many companies are doing it right now. This is a popular down and out play, apparently. And I'm not saying they're down and out, because I think they have all the prospects in the world. They got a big company here, and they still got $1 billion company, and it should still very well be profitable. They put their eggs in too many baskets. They got away from their core business. They're realizing that now. They're shutting it all down. They're selling it off. They're probably making money doing it, which is nice. So maybe the revenue pops up and the profit pops up line pretty quickly. Maybe the more they sell, the faster it goes. But they're going to bring this thing back into check by the end of 2023. And one of the ways they're going to do that is by diluting this sucker one more time, is my prediction. I'm not positive of it, but I don't know. What would you do? You can't go to the bank. You've got enough money to go for maybe a quarter, maybe a quarter and a half at most. Do you sell into this? Do you dilute it, sell into it, and tell everybody about it? And say, thank you, shareholder. Sorry you lost 80% of your money, but we're going to survive. We now have, $200 million. Thank you very much. And then all of a sudden we can get ourselves, and that doesn't bring them closer to the black. That just kind of screws with you. They need to make some moves to get themselves in the black, so they don't need money anymore. They'll actually be in the business of making money like most businesses. And this one hasn't ever seen it. I don't even know if they've never even seen it. This is the closest they've been all year, was last quarter. So maybe they're honing in on something. The business that they just sold, maybe this is the operating costs going away and the losses from that business going away. Maybe trim this up. It even trimmed up from here and here. So this looks like the right direction. I like this. They can get this closer, that would be fantastic. They can get it a little bit above, that would be even better. Losing these divisions is going to be huge. Raising more money and their ability to is going to be huge. I think you got one more dilution in this thing, and then maybe another reverse stock split, and then maybe they'll be good. And if you don't see them as being good after that, then God knows they could try another dilution again. I don't know. This is the punishment phase. And what I want you guys to do, if you feel like this is what's going on, like me, I'm taking probably like half or a third, maybe 2/3 of the money off the table on XELA and just leaving it in cash, waiting for the dilution and diving right back in. They're going to dilute this thing again to raise some cash. I want to get in after they dilute the thing, not before they dilute the thing. I'm going to turn my $5 into a nickel, and then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to buy it for a nickel. I'm going to buy it for $5 and have it be worth a nickel and then go shit. You know, and I got 100 times less of them. That's not good. And that's exactly what these companies do to raise money in the end. And the end isn't always the end, but this is just part of the cycle of survival. Sometimes it's getting to a finish line. In this case, it is survival. They're just trying to survive, but they are getting closer to fixing the problem. So let that be noted too. They're getting a lot closer to fixing the problem. This will extend their survival quite a bit, and it'll make their bank happy. They might be able to pay these damn people off a good chunk of this just by doing a move like this. If they could make this blue line bigger than the yellow line, now they're in dreamland. Now they're in the black. Now they can afford to pay attention. They can afford to make money. Their operating costs crumble. The payments on 700 or $1.5 billion is not pretty. You know, that's got to be, I don't know, maybe $100 million a year in just the payments. And here we have a company that just lost $45 million for the quarter. Was this quarterly down here? Yeah, that was quarterly. But yeah, it's a grand total of it. But yeah. So if you can save 100 million a year, it's going to chop this down considerably. It's going to at least half this. And it's going to bring them a lot closer to the black. And a move like that might just make them enter the black. So would they trade being in the black for you, the shareholder? I think so. Should you be mad about that? Not if you play it right. Not if you listened to this video and thought about it and thought, oh shit, they couldn't dilute the stock when it was 5 cents. You can't sell into that. What are you going to sell into? You can dilute 1 billion shares and you wouldn't be able to get enough pennies out of the deal. But at $5, it's extremely dilutable. And it looks like somebody's been peckering away already. And then somehow everybody thought there was enough peckering to be done because they didn't get the news yet about a dilution. And I assure you it comes after the fact. They they dilute, they sell into it, and then they tell you about it. Usually they don't do that a month in advance. So this collapse right here probably wasn't dilution. But usually they'll do it 3 days in advance, 4 days in advance. They'll work it out with their creditors. The creditors will say, okay, we really want you to do this move on your stock because we need to get paid back because this is ridiculous. You don't have the collateral to hold this kind of debt anymore. And they start putting pressure on the company to get this right. And they might be reacting to pressure from the banks to get this right. And if they get this right, it's going to make the company more profitable. For you not to hurt as a stockholder, hopefully you know about it or know the possibility of it. Make a decision whether you want to hold this thing at $4.98 or whether you think they're going to need money. Because if they need money, it's only coming from one place. It's coming from you. You're going to lose your whole $4.98, and then the company's going to be in the black, and you're going to have a lot less shares. Or wouldn't you rather just buy them after they dilute them? I don't know. Think about that. And I don't know. So it's food for thought. XELA is going to get to the black. XELA is going to keep its customers. XELA is going to turn a profit every quarter. They're going to be healthy. They're going to be back, and all their problems are going to be solved. And all of their problems get solved with one big dilution right now. I'm sorry to say it. The writing is on the wall. It's become the play of 2023. It sounds filthy and nasty. A stock reversal followed by a dilution. Yep, it's real. And it's been happening. So just to keep everybody informed, you might want to, if you watch this channel, congratulations. If this happens, I hope that you can save yourself a little bit and then get right back in after the dilution. But it's coming. They don't have any money left, and they don't have any credit left, and the bank's breathing down their neck. So what do you think is coming? Give it some thought. I still like XELA, and I think it puts them in the black. I think it solves their problems. It solves their operating. It brings them in the black. They're getting closer to being in the black. They're losing bad divisions quickly. This is part of it. Beat the stockholder up, get in the black, problem solved. Be ready to maybe get out of so much of it now that your $5 will buy 100 times more shares after they do the dilution than you have right now. And then all of a sudden the company hits the black, and then we're back off to the races when you get to be a $5 stock again one day, and you'll have 100 times more shares. But just play the markets, play what's going on. You love XELA, you think they're going to do great. They probably are going to do great. This is a direct path back to the black. They just have to victimize the stockholder one more time, and they're back, baby. That's pretty much what this is all about. And take a long look at it. Give it some thought. XELA Technologies, I think they're going to be in the black, and I think the stockholder is going to pay for that. And you want to definitely buy more shares after they dilute it again. They're just going to, and it's coming. And you might want to park some of your shares out of the way. If it doesn't come, they're just going to run out of money. So it's coming, unless they can sell divisions fast enough to keep up with the ridiculous amount of debt that they have in comparison to their revenue. I mean, it's just insane. This line's like double or more than double what it should be. It's been like that for a very long time. I guess all year long they've been putting up with that. Have they been putting that up? Yeah, they've been putting up with that since 2018. I guess it got worse in 2019 and 2020, and it's still awful. They sold off assets to get this line down, so they've already been fighting with the bank, selling off assets. The bank wants to see it. I think the stockholder wants to see it ultimately. The company wants to be in the black. They got to raise that kind of cash, and there's only one way to do it. Dilution. Sorry, guys. Play it right and play it smart. Multiply your shares up times 100 and make the move. This is kind of a stock play that can really benefit your XELA position, and you'll be in a company that's in the black. So consider it, think about it. Have a wonderful Saturday. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Good news and bad news. I kind of like it both ways. I don't want them to go into more debt to save the company, and I don't think they have any more debt, but I wouldn't want them to anyhow. Have a wonderful day. Like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.